morning. Welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz, LoveTalk on Babz Rawls-Ivy. I'm delighted this morning because we're going back in time. We're going back to 1994 with the James Hillhouse High School class of 1994 because they're about to celebrate 30 years of being out of high school graduates. Hey, y'all. Hey, Kia.
Hey, Babz.
Nice to see you
Good
again.
morning.
It's good to see you again.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Nicole. Hey,
How are
David.
you?
Hi,
How you doing?
Lee.
Good
How
morning.
y'all
Hi.
doing?
Good. How are
Good,
you?
Oh, y'all don't look like y'all been out of high school 30 years. Come on now.
Thank you.
Oh.
We appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
It's been 30 years. Trust me. Trust us.
Exactly.
I know I feel
Is this
like
the
it's been
first is this the first reunion or you've had like 10, 15, 20? This the
It's the
first
first.
one?
First one.
The first one.
Our first reunion
Oh,
in 30 years.
Oh,
And we
had-
are
we had-
excited.
we had a couple failure to launches and some little meetups here and there, but like this is our first bona fide, reunion. Yeah.
Okay, so how many of y'all graduated? What's the class size?
We were under 200, I believe. Does anybody
Like
remember
100?
the exact number?
I know
I think it was like
coming out of
130.
was it that? I know coming out of junior year we were 220, 222. Now what that looked like at graduation time, I don't know.
Terrible. Is it
I
terrible
think
that
it
we
was like
cannot remember?
125. No, I think it was like 125. It was real low.
Okay.
First of all,
That might be
it
the
shows you
quiz
30
question.
years. Right. It shows you 30 years of memory that we cannot
Thir-
remember how many folks graduated with us.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So what made you say, all right, 30th, we're gonna get it together, and we're gonna pull this off?
I mean, I think
Well,
it was
I
just
know-
time. Go
Well,
ahead,
one of
Nicole.
the things that I think we noticed was we've tried it before and we were unsuccessful. But then I think Lee made a post on Facebook that said, can you believe it's going to be 30 years? I think this was
Yeah.
like 2 years ago. Can you
Right.
believe it's going to be 30 years? We really need to do something. Everyone did not make it to this point. And, growing
Very
up,
true.
you've matured, you've learned that 30 years is significant and we need to celebrate it. We need to recognize it. And everybody didn't make it to this point. So we should be excited to celebrate. And a lot of our classmates agreed with us and got on board and said, we really want to do this. Tell us when and where, tell us what's happening, and we'll get to it.
So are y'all the planners from like 1994? Like, is this group right here the same group that always planned homecoming and all the stuff and all the things?
Well, I think yes, to some degree, right? So Lee was our class president from like sophomore year to senior year. I was our class vice president. Nicole was our class treasurer. David was on all of our active committees, our prom planning committee, our graduation committee, our senior day committee. And so we just sort of picked up these old badges and put them back on and was like, come on, y'all, let's do this thing.
So if I pull your yearbook, I would see
Ooh.
all the things underneath your name of what you've done, and it is still very much true.
It is still very much true.
Still
And there's
very
so
much
many of
true.
us that are missing, right? We probably have about double this folks on our committee now. But if you pulled our yearbook, please don't pull our yearbook. But if you did,
well, you could go downtown to the New Haven Free Library and look at your class year. If it's not on your back shelf behind you, Kia, you can go, y'all can go look it up.
Wait, it is actually on my back shelf.
If you want to laugh, if you want a little chuckle.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're planning this. Tell me where are you hosting it? And I know you got a celebrity DJ, but tell me where you're hosting it. And is it a weekend thing? Is it just a day thing? Are y'all gonna, next year you're gonna cruise? Like what? Tell me the particulars.
Well, we don't know that it'll be a next year. We are trying to make sure this is a success. Right. And so it's going to be at Cascade on June 22nd from 5 to 9. DJ SNS is our DJ that's coming to take us back to the 90s. And so
Classic,
we're just
classic.
excited. Exactly. We're just excited. Like the 90s were a really, really good time. I know a lot has happened and folks have had challenges and ups and downs and all that kind of stuff. But the 90s were a really, really good time. I think a lot of people can agree to that. And so we just want to bring that back, have a good time, enjoy each other, see each other, and just have fun.
Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
Now, do you see classmates now? Like, do you see the majority of y'all now, or this is really going to be, I haven't seen these people in 30 years.
It's so weird because I wonder if the reason why it took us 30 years is because there are so many of us that are still local, right? We have so many classmates that are working in New Haven public school system, classmates working for Yale University, classmates who have lived in New Haven in their same neighborhoods for the last 30 years. And so we run into each other all the time and lunches, at work, at arts and ideas festivals, at parties. And so there are a lot of us who are still local, but there are so many of us now who have like traveled the world, who have opened businesses, who are working internationally. And so those folks, we want to let them come back home. For those of us that's still chilling out in New Haven, we want to see the other folks.
Now, do
Yes.
you invite your teachers, and I don't even know who the principal was in 1994.
Lonnie
Do you invite
Garrett.
your
Lonnie Garrett
oh,
was our
oh my
principal.
God, really?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, he
My
Lonnie
was.
Lord.
Garrett, Ben Hunter. Those are our peeps when we was in high school.
Well, I know
And we
Ben
actually
Hunter
just
has
saw,
passed, right? He has
Yes.
passed,
Yes. Yeah.
but some of these old dogs are still around.
Yeah.
we actually
It's
just
still
saw
some of the
Mr.
same
Garris
teachers.
at, yeah, we just actually just saw Mr. Garris at the Hillhouse Alumni Association had a brunch about a month or so ago. And so we saw him there and and I mean we've seen Mrs. Patton who's still working at Hillhouse 50
That's
years
crazy.
later. And
Shout
so
out to Marsha McAlpine Ransom,
Yes.
who was
our
our
Oh
advisor,
wow,
we
senior
yeah,
love
class
her.
yeah,
advisor.
Yes.
yeah.
Who
It's
We
the
you
ran
know?
gifting.
her
Mrs.
ragged.
I was
McAlpine.
about to say, man, she had love and grace for us. Can you believe we
Yes,
waited
she
30
did.
years, Miss McAlpine, because we gave you
She
a hard
Exactly.
did.
time?
She did.
Exactly.
And she will tell you stories about us. If
She
you
will
bring us
tell you
up,
stories.
she
So I
Yeah,
has
hope
she
she's
was
memories.
coming. I hope
We
you're
she had
coming.
invited her. We did
front
invite
row
her.
seat
She
to
said
all of
she
the
wasn't
madness.
sure.
Wait,
Okay.
here's a 1994 thing, Babs. 1994, our senior year in high school, was also the inauguration of John DeStefano, and was who was the superintendent, y'all? Why am I drawing a blank right now?
Dow
Dow.
or
Dr.
Dow?
Dr.
Dow.
Dow. But who came after Dr. Dow? Mayo, Reggie
Dr.
Mayo.
Mayo.
So
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr.
Dr.
Mayo
Mayo.
and John DeStefano came in while we were class officers. Like I think Lee, you and I went to their inauguration ball at like the Yale Club or something
I
for our
went to a
senior
couple of
class.
inauguration balls. I don't remember. I try to block that
Oh,
out.
That's a 30-year
I went to a
fun
few
fact.
too.
I think I was at that very first one too, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact. So, wow. Okay,
And I think
so
I
go
just
ahead.
wanted to say too, the other thing about reunions, you don't hear a lot of classes having reunions anymore. My mother graduated from Hillhouse in 1965, and she has gone to most of her reunions, and they've had them consistently. But I think with the advent of social media, we kind of get little pieces, bits and pieces of what people are doing. But there's
yeah.
nothing like really coming together in person and really reconnecting and seeing what everyone is doing and really having, conversations and partying and having fun like we
Yeah.
did in 1994
Yeah.
at that class
90,
party we had at the COC and Mrs. Alpine
Oh
yelled
my
at us.
God, the
But
COC.
Wait,
yes,
shout out to the senior class
Yes.
party at the COC. That was epic.
that was live.
definitely epic.
Yeah.
I will tell
I was
you.
just
Go
talking to
ahead, David.
somebody. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just talking to somebody and letting them know that, my class is, getting ready to have a reunion. But for me, I went abroad in the military, and just all the music that came out in like classic 94 hip hop R&B. And it's like, they got the 30th anniversary of the remix of Mary J. Blige and
That's
Method Man,
right.
the 30th, anniversary of the DeKalb, Method Man album, like all those classic songs. And it just always takes me back, like, man, 94 was such a great year, like it just, for music and as young people. And like, I remember how live the summer was, leading up to us, going to school. But it was just like, it was just genuine love and like, man, like you just want to stay right there in that moment forever.
Wow, I love it. Nicole, I will tell you, there are a lot of reunions going on because I get calls about them. I do PSA for them, run ads for them. And when you go on Facebook and you type in, because this is what I did, because I wasn't sure if y'all had a Facebook page. So I went and I typed in Hillhouse class of, it was like gazillion, class of 82, class of 77. I was like, wait, I gotta find the 94 folks.
That's
I
right.
saw the
Well,
95
ours is going to
folks.
be the ultimate 30th reunion. So everyone should recognize that.
Yes.
The ultimate 30th
Oh,
reunion.
I see what you're doing,
okay?
Nicole.
Win
A
with
little
us.
That part.
rivalry.
Watch us win.
That part. And
Win
like
with
we
us
are,
or watch
we're
us
saying
win.
like Hillhouse adjacent, right? Like if you're class of 94 adjacent,
Right.
like come through 93, 92, 95, 96, because we all were there together. So like come through, party
Mhm.
with us, catch up with
Listen.
us, and like let's make it a real New Haven family thing.
People
I
been
love
hitting me up about like a 90s decade, like after this, like people I've been hitting up everybody, like all classes, all schools, who, regardless, because it's just a celebration, period. But like
Yeah.
people have been like, yo, we should do like a 90s, just one, like the decade of the 90s, but like just reunion for all, associated with the alumni association or whatever. But like people been really like, like kind of like latch on to it and kind of like keep the momentum of this thing going. Obviously, we definitely not going to be the spearheads of this thing, but
I don't
it's
know,
an
David.
idea.
It
It's
sounds like
definitely
you're
been
talking your
put.
way into it.
I don't know, man. This has been like, giving birth.
Oh,
Jeez.
so
And I think even leading up to this, like when we were talking, like, because we've been talking about this and like planning this for the last 2 years, and we've been meeting, monthly with each other. And it's just been good to just, meet with each other because there are members on this committee that don't even live in Connecticut. Like Dave is in Maryland, Melanie is in North Carolina, Shayla's in Ohio. And we've just been meeting, and just not only reminiscing, but planning. And one of the most important things us too was Hillhouse was such an important part of our development in our lives and the foundation for who we became. And we've always wanted to just make sure that we could pour back into the school and the students that go there. And so the other thing that we were doing was we wanted to tie this to raising money and giving back to the school. And so we did that along the way with this. And so we've done some fundraisers, and we've raised about $5,500, I think, that we gave back to the school this year for students that are traveling abroad, because that's just such a great experience in and of itself. And then, our reunion, proceeds from our reunion are going to do the same thing. So not only is this for us to, get together, see each other, have a good time, but it's also to make sure that we continue to be able to pour back into the school that gave us all so much.
This is why she's our
Absolutely.
class president. This is why Lee's the class president. That part right there.
Exactly.
Leave for governor. Leave for governor.
No, thank
no,
you.
I need
2022.
Lee for president of these United States, but okay.
No, absolutely not. No,
Girl,
thank
you
you.
got
No.
the skill set, you got what it takes.
No, I
Yeah.
couldn't deal with some folks
Let's keep it
on the other
homegrown.
side
Let's
of the
keep it
aisle.
local. Let's
Yeah.
keep it local. Let's
No,
keep it
thank you.
local. Let's
Keep it local, keep it local.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now will y'all tell me about the actual day, the because it seems like 5 to 9 might not, y'all gonna get in there, it's gonna get good to you. I don't know, 9 o'clock you might have to put another hour on that. I can't imagine that y'all would break up just at 9 o'clock. Tell me what the actual event's gonna look like. Do you require people to dress up, or like what's the attire? What's the
So
look?
we are asking people to come grown and sexy.
Oh.
And you can interpret that however you wish, because we want you there. So we're not going to put any rigid stipulations on what that looks like to you. It's more important that we have you in the building and celebrating with us and participating in this event. So come grown and sexy. We're going to have a 50-50 raffle. We are going to have a mirror photo booth. We are going to have, of course, DJ SNS. And we really want to emphasize, it's not a long program. It's about reconnecting and partying and getting together. We want to know, what our classmates are doing, the ones that we haven't seen and haven't heard from in 30 years. everybody isn't on social media. So
Right.
we want to make sure that we reconnect with them and touch base with them and let them know that, you know, you're a part of this class too. You are part of this Hillhouse community too. And we want to be and reconnected with you, and we want to support you in all of the things that you're doing as well.
Yeah.
So you have a committee and you chose a place, a venue. Is there what is a Hillhouse school color? Do you put the mascot up? Do you put the school colors out? Will people get souvenirs? Like, tell me the swag. I want to know about the swag.
It's blue. Of course, everybody knows Hillhouse blue is what it is. We are definitely
My bad.
Right. Let them know, Nicole.
What other color is there?
Would there be?
We're not gonna talk about that other school down the street, but you know, Hillhouse blue is where it is.
We are destroying them right now. Like, they are so upset. I got people from the school who want to come to our party. I'm gonna just say it like that.
It's a beautiful, friendly rival with that other
It's a
school
friendly
across
rivalry.
town with those other colors.
Yeah.
We
Win with
love
us
I love it.
or watch us win. That's all I gotta say.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so y'all are gonna get together. Is there a day after component? Because you know, some of these reunions, they have a picnic and they have this and that, because sometimes people can't make it to the actual party. And so what else is going on?
The weekend is going to be free flowing. We know people are coming in on that Friday. We know there are events on the green that are happening. And we know there are other events happening on that Saturday. So part of the reason that we opted to go for a 5 to 9 p.m. time frame is because it gives us an opportunity to keep the party going. So we have a classmate who owns a bar and grill, Tasha Harp, in West Haven. So there's the opportunity to keep the party going at her establishment. Right. There are, you know, other events going on in the city that we might decide to get together, but we're really playing it by ear. And we really wanted to get people here and give them the opportunity to do this event. We didn't want to put any hard and fast rules around the entire weekend. And we didn't want to tax people's pockets unnecessarily. Yeah. So we wanted to make sure that come to this event, you know, get your fill, and then link up with us afterward if we so choose. But let's just come and have a good time at the class reunion itself.
And I think, to Nicole's point, there's so much happening in the city that weekend. There's such an opportunity to reconnect and reintegrate with other things happening in the city. So we'll get together Saturday night, and then we'll make choices about how to be in our city, how to reinvest in our city, how to show up and do the things that New Haveners do when there's lots of things happening on the green and in other venues all up and down the neighborhoods of New Haven.
So how do y'all plan to, and if you plan to, honor classmates who have passed on, or will you do that? And is it a lot of folks or a few folks, or do you know of all the folks who have passed on?
It's unfortunate. I think it's more than, you know, it's a lot. The folks during high school, we lost a lot of people. Our junior year was it was tragic. And it was just, it seemed like it was every week. And so we definitely want to do that. We definitely want to honor those who have passed on. So we definitely have a portion of our reunion that's dedicated to those folks. And so we do want to highlight that, because there's so many of our you know, classmates that are no longer here with us. And it's just, we're grateful and we're blessed that we're still here. And we want to make sure that we keep their memory alive. So we're definitely going to do that.
Most definitely.
I was wondering about that. I've seen that done with other reunions. It's a lovely touch, and makes people feel like other folks are not forgotten. So tell me, what's been the best part of getting together and planning this? Because y'all have been, what you said, Lee, you said 2 years. Y'all been doing this for 2 years.
We've been doing this for 2 years.
Oh my goodness,
a long 2 years, but it's been fun. Like it's
been so much fun.
Yeah,
I think we've seen each other fall back into old roles. We're like, oh yes, I remember so-and-so did this or so-and-so did that. Right? I mean, listen, don't let Lee fool you. Lee is take charge. Lee will coordinate. Lee will put people, she gets all the details in order. Like, oh yes, this is a familiar role for us. We got
Very
Lee's
much
cheerleaders,
the
so.
best.
champions,
Lee's the
coordinators.
best.
We got on the ground social media representatives, on the ground representatives. It's been so nice to see folks like be the older version of themselves, but be true to the version of themselves that we knew in 1994.
I
And
love
what
it. I love
really,
it.
we also, during this kind of planning process, we kind of got reinvigorated a couple years ago when we decided to get together for the Thanksgiving game. And we said, let this kind of be the kickoff. You know, we got class of 94 sweatshirts. We sold Hillhouse alumni sweatshirts. We had a little tailgating section on the field and had everyone come out, and people were excited. And that's really how we got people reinvigorated and reengaged and ready to get together again at this reunion. So it's been a long time coming, but I think we're ready.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that y'all got the band back together, you know, I can't imagine that this band is going to break up. I imagine that you're going to start working on something else together as a band. So I mean,
Well,
have y'all had
we
that
were talking
conversation,
about
or you just planning
we were talking
this?
about working more in coordination with the Hillhouse Alumni Association and kind of like just partnering up and piggybacking, just making a more focused, you know, effort to like really, you know, get some, you know, funds to, you know, brought into the school, you know, for schools and things like that. But I don't know if we're gonna specifically keep this group together. I guess we got to drop a single or something, you know.
Drop a single. And I want to say like this group, like this part of the band is not even representative of the entire band. There are so many folks on the ground who are a part of this process. We have so many classmates doing so many amazing things, from entrepreneurship to higher education to public school education to the medical field, the business field. Like we are just representing all of them because we're able to make it this morning. But the band is so much bigger than this. And I think there's opportunity, you're right, to drop a single, right? Make an album. Do people still make albums? You know what I mean? You know?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's important what Kia said. We're part of the planning committee, but this is not even a significant percentage of how many classmates we have that are doing great things and being leaders in their areas of industry. And we really want to make sure that they know that they are a part of this class always and forever. And we want them to, you know, come and share in the celebration with us and, you know, let us know what you're doing. And if we don't know already, and, you know, how we can support them and how we can make sure that their impact is felt even further.
Now, do y'all get to go back to Hillhouse proper and stroll through the campus? Like, do you get to go in and remember where you used to, you know, I don't know, smoke cigarettes or hide out?
We didn't do that.
They're trying to get us on recording saying we were model students. We were good community participants in 1990.
Because you know, the school has changed a bit since y'all were there.
It's definitely changed a lot.
Can you get to go there? Can you bring some folks there? Can y'all meet up there and go inside and take a peek and remember so-and-so's office or that kind of stuff?
So we've been in there. Because we've made some donations to them. So we've gone back there a couple of times this past year to just, you know, check in on the students that are going and, you know, going abroad. I work a little bit with some of the students that are at Hillhouse, so I get to see it regularly. One of our classmates is assistant superintendent, so she's in there all the time. You know, we have other classmates that, you know, I'm sure get to go in there sometimes because they're, you know, they're teachers or they work in some form or fashion education. And so, but it's definitely different than it was when we were there. Even the setup. I think they had academies at one point and we didn't have that when we were there. A lot of I think Nicole and I went back maybe 10 years ago now. we were doing a program about STEM, trying to
Mm-hmm.
teach young women about STEM. And we went back, and at the time, Mrs. McAlpine was still there. So we went to see her, and I think Mrs. Michael was still there when we went. And so it has been good to be able to go back and see how it's changed. But that's, I think, another reason why we're so invested in just making sure we pour back into it, because we were afforded so many things going to Hillhouse, whether it was going on college trips, whether it was going traveling abroad, like a lot of our classmates went
Yes.
to Africa and other
Right.
places, and just opportunities that we had access to, that we want to make sure that students that still go there have the same kind of access. So that's, you know,
Yeah.
that's hugely important and near and dear to our hearts. Because like I said, again, we just got so much from him. I mean, we had a blast, a ball
Yeah.
We
there.
really did.
But we also learned so much, and we developed, as you can see, lifelong friendships. And there are people that we don't necessarily talk to every day, but you could pick up the phone, and if you say you need something, you know, that person is there.
Yes.
And so I think that's
Absolutely.
indicative of who the class of 1994 is,
Yes.
who we are as people, and sort of how Hillhouse helped to develop us.
Yeah.
And then with regard to like what Leah's saying, we really want to make sure that we are giving back to the school that gave so much to us. And if there are classmates who, for whatever reason, aren't able to attend, but they really want to support this endeavor, they have the opportunity to do so if they want to serve as a sponsor. Perhaps their whatever business they're in would like to be a sponsor, or if they would just want to make a donation, a small donation on their own. Any proceeds that we raise from this event are going back to the school. So I think that's really important.
I love it. So what does the class of 1994 say to the class of 2024? What do you say to these young people who live in a very different world than you did?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I think for me, I would say, if you have the opportunity to travel outside of your hometown, your home state, go away. If you come back, that's fine, but go away, experience other areas, experience other cultures, experience other people. And when I say culture, even so much as I went away to North Carolina A&T State University
Aggie
as a freshman.
pride.
Aggie pride. So it was a culture shock for me. And, you know, I wanted to go, I wanted the experience, and I am so grateful for it. And I'm so glad that I went. But I would really encourage students, no matter what it is that you do, get some opportunity to travel and experience other areas, either in the country or the world.
Yeah.
And I tell freshmen too, like, if you have the opportunity to study abroad, do that.
Yeah, that's really important. I would say cherish your friendships, right? Like the representative group of us here with you this morning, Babz, and those that we are connected to. I mean, lifelong friendships for 30 years plus, right? Many of us knew each other since middle school or lived in the same neighborhood before we even got to Hillhouse. And there's something so, like, we can't undervalue friendship and relationships that stay connected over decades. We show up for each other's celebrations, each other's successes, each other's challenges. We know each other's children now. Some of us have grandchildren now. Well, not me, not yet, but some of us, right? But I think, like, show up for that, and like, don't, you know, and in a society where everything is so fast paced, so urgent, so social media focused, so high turnover, this kind of stuff, these kind of relationships cannot be replaced. And so, like, high school relationships, they're worthy relationships of continuing to invest in, like, keep them, cherish them. They'll last you 30 years.
Yeah.
I would say,
else?
I agree with that exactly. Just as a person who didn't take the traditional route of college and going into the military, and actually, you know, seeing the world from a different perspective and being immersed in cultures. I was in Kuwait for a year. I was in Korea for 2 years. I lived in Hawaii. And there's so many ways that you can, you know, get to the end destination of success. And I, you know, and then I doubled back and then got my degree. But like, you know, in IT and medical, you know, there's so many ways that you can aspire to to achieve what you want to achieve as far as like a profession. And that's for me, being in the military, I was able to see that and see, just, individuals who didn't go to college, but, they still, they're still an executive, or they're leading a, an engineering or, network engineering program, and they're garnering up upwards of six-figure income because they just got the skill set and they went that route. So I always talk to young people about just the options that's available now that we didn't have. Back then it was more or less just college or military or trade school, but now it's so many ways you can just earn a certificate of, of a specific skill set, and still go out there and get that work experience. And to piggyback on the friendship piece, I genuinely care about my classmates from Hillhouse. Because for me, I was away, so every time I would come back home, I really wanted to see how people was doing, because I didn't have that stay in the city moment of seeing everybody. And I would come home just in the summer, or one time like in Christmas or Thanksgiving. So I'm trying to see everybody in a week's time frame. I'm bumping into people at the grocery store, and I'm a hugging person. So I'm hugging dudes, I'm hugging ladies, because I genuinely love, and I represented Hillhouse, Elm City to the ultimate when I was away in Georgia in these different locations. They always like, "Oh, you from Connecticut?" Like, yes, New Haven, Connecticut. Yes, that's where I'm from.
I love it. I love it. All right. So before I let you go, what was your jam? Give me your jams. Tell me what was the jam. When you hear this song, you're like,
I got
that's
a playlist.
my song.
I got a playlist. I just was listening the other day, man. Go ahead.
Wu-Tang, Enter the 36 Chambers. That was my jam. 1994. I went down with Wu-Tang in 94.
I love it. Wu-Tang forever. All right,
I'm gonna say that
Lee, I know you got a jam. Nicole, David.
I was different. I always listen.
Remix. Anything remix, the Wu-Tang remix. I remember they played that at the prom.
Anything, yes.
Anything remix. Telling you, I play that in the house right now. My daughter be like, "Dad, what you doing?" I'm like, "Girl, you don't understand. You don't understand."
Come on, take us down R&B lane, Lee.
Yeah, I'm more of a slow jam person, which they all know.
Lee, these young people, they don't have slow jams.
They don't, and I feel sorry for them because I know I feel bad for them because I have been doing that since like 10 years old. So, and they all know this. So I can't give you like a
I can
a headbanger, but
Shy.
Yes,
Lee was If I Ever fall in love.
If I ever fall in love, absolutely.
Oh.
Thank you, Kia. That's it. Yes,
I know that just.
Oh, you just took me back. All right, Nicole, what you got?
I'm a Biggie Smalls through and through.
Yes.
Yes. That's it for me.
Yes.
That's
no Mary
it.
J. No Mary J. Be happy. What's going on here?
Well, that was after 94. Mary J, like Reminisce. That was like 93, right? That was 93, 94. Reminisce. What's the 411? Held us down. Held us down 93 and 94. What's the 411?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, I love it. Well, for all those who are listening, people who will listen after the fact today, they're going to be, you probably see a little bit of a surge in people reaching out because they're going to see this and be like, "Oh, I know them. Those are my classmates. I'm going to be at the
right.
So tell us again when the reunion is and how people can find you and connect to you.
So it's going to be June 22nd at Cascade from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's open bar, buffet, DJ SNS. And so there is a link that you can purchase tickets. It's on our social media pages. It's also on our reunion page. And that's how you can reach out to any, if you have a way to contact us, you can reach out to us. We'll come to you, whatever. But we just want to make sure folks have a good time and are in the building.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, thank y'all for coming on. This was fun. Thank you for walking me down memory lane. I'm a little bit older than y'all. I'm way older than y'all, so this is really nice. I came out of the class of 81, and so but I love this 94 vibe. I mean, I was fully in the world at class at 1994. But I know the music, I know the vibe, so I am so with you. I hope y'all have a great time, safe time. Thank you
so much.
And I can't wait to.
This was great.
I can't wait till y'all plan the cruise for the 35th because that's
here we go. Too. There we go.
We'll see about
Kia.
Yeah,
thank you so much
again.
Thanks for
And
having
y'all
us. We
have a
love you,
good
sis.
time. I can't wait to see the pictures
will.
across social media. Make sure they get posted up. And you know what?
We
When
will.
I had my class reunion, we did our 40th or 45th or some old mess. They took the high school yearbook pictures and then the current pictures and then did them side by side.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
child. You talk about
Woo.
sobering. That was quite sobering.
We
So
won't be
y'all have a
doing
good
that.
time.
Yeah, we're
Party
not
like
gonna do
it's
that. Yeah,
party like it's 1994 and
We
we
That's right.
definitely will.
and
Indeed.
enjoy yourselves. Thanks
Indeed.
for sharing this with me. I appreciate you.
Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
having us.
Thank
Oh,
you.
my pleasure. Take good care. All
Take
right,
care.
Harry, do you have some 1994 music queued up? I know you do.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. That's what we ready for.
I told you.
Y'all take good care.
All right.
Yes.
That's dead right. If the head right, Biggie there, and I. Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose.